Hutchinson beaten by Newton. And the free kick given against Weller. Free kick for Everton. Now the top surface is getting a wee bit slippery now with the rain coming down on this lush grass. Ball to number 11, Whittle. Oh, a great goal by Whittle. Oh, he really saw the gap. Bonetti was in the middle of the goal. Great goal. 38 minutes. Whittle has scored. What a lesson Alan Ball gave. Look at the pass to Harvey, who runs on, must have run 20 yards, 25 yards to get the return pass, puts it to Whittle. Now as Whittle moves to his right, Bonetti sees the danger. He covers his left. He expects a floating centre to Royal. Whittle sees the gap, hammers it hard and true. Bonetti sees it too late, just manages to get his fingers to it, but it's a goal. Alan Whittle has put Everton in the lead 1-0 after 38 minutes. Whittle panicking Weller a bit then. Oh, great running by Weller. Saw the gap and went for it. You can blame nobody for that but the surface. Ball. Number 7, Husband. Webb. Royal, Chelsea in dire trouble. Kendall, 2-0. Chelsea hopelessly pulled apart. And Peter Bonetti must be wondering where on earth was his cover. So, Kendall has made it 2-0. Chelsea crowd stunned to silence. Terrible defensive tragedy. Webb was the first to make a mistake, taking too long to get the ball clear. He's half robbed, and then Hollins pushing the ball back unaccountably into an open space, so there are no Chelsea defenders covering up. This is Royal number 9, and nobody's covering. Kendall in the middle, everyone's exposed, and Kendall an open goal to head at. A simple goal for Everton's second. So Chelsea, who opened so brightly, are now at the wrong end of it. So deep in the second half. Number 11, Houseman. Throw to Chelsea. So for the first time in the second half, we see a long throw from Hutchinson, having to wipe that rather slippery ball. Webb's going up this time. And that's the one that kids everybody. And ball will get there first. Now who recovers? Hinton. Weller. Hutchinson, the goal! Hutchinson has scored. And that's brought out the best of the Chelsea fans. Memories of Tommy Lawton flood back with this one. Notice how Hutchinson gets up in the air before everyone else. He gets up higher than everyone else. It's a perfect example of timing and glancing the ball over 2 defenders into the back of the net. So with 10 minutes left, 2 goals to 1.
On the ground of FA Cup winners Chelsea, the O'Hare-Hector combination still dangerous.
Hector. And O'Hare opens the scoring. Chelsea caught with only 2 men at the back. And the bounce a little bit unlucky for them. Osgood going in. Hutchinson. nowhere. Houseman in. Hutchinson in the middle. Well,
West Ham against Chelsea, a derby game of high promise, and for West Ham skipper Bobby Moore, it's the end of another week with pressures bearing down on him from off the field. On the field, he's led his West Ham side superbly. This is the same West Ham side that has played in both matches so far. Chelsea have already moved very smartly into gear with 3 points out of 4, and they too feel an unchanged side. Paddy Mulligan still at number 2, keeping David Webb out of the side. Such an attractive looking side, the more so now that it includes Keith Weller in its attack.
Hudson. Osgood. Sweeping it nicely there for Ronnie Harris, the Chelsea skipper. Houseman with Hutchinson in the middle and Osgood in the middle as well. This is going to Osgood with a header! Just past! Hurst looking to get under it. Bobby Howe! Oh, there! By Bobby Howe on the volley! What a goal!
Well, a really spectacular goal, a perfectly placed corner from Clyde Best, and Bobby Howe comes running onto it and hits it probably as good a volley as we shall see all season. Bonetti just gets his hand to it, but who can save a shot like that?
Number 10, Jimmy Greaves, right on that line. Plenty of Chelsea players surrounding him, though. Peter Bennett, who came up and scored, of course, an equaliser for West Ham last week. Best with the corner. Hurst trying to get underneath it. Hurst! Oh, and away for a corner. Hollins. Osgood. Beaten by Bennett, and well beaten. Greaves, the ball bouncing nicely for him. And Bobby Howe. Oh, good work by Bonetti. A really scintillating break there by West Ham, with Howe making the extra man on the outside, taking Greaves past to perfection. So Chelsea, who looked so bright and so busy in the opening 5 minutes, a goal down and under a fair bit of pressure as Greaves now takes it up again for West Ham. Still Greaves to Hurst. Oh, goal! 2-0, Jeff Hurst.
Credit for making the opening here must go to Clyde Best. Look at that first-time ball, which leaves Greaves halfway through the Chelsea defence. He advances now on Ron Harris, number 3, knowing that Jeff Hurst is on his right. It's too much for Harris now to stop 2 men. A Greaves feint. Hurst is an open goal in front of him, and he puts it right into the corner. Bonetti has no chance whatsoever.
Really bright, warm sunshine now. Weller. And now Mulligan. Bennett. And Brooking. With a shot. Oh, just past. Well, he was a striker for a long time here at West Ham, but he really has blossomed now as a man coming forward from midfield. Trevor Brooking. Lining up, looking for this goal kick. Hurst neatly headed inside there for Greaves, and Greaves through now to Best. Oh, and Best planting it straight over. The whistle had gone. The whistle had gone for offside, to the mystification of Clyde Best. Hinton to Osgood, faced by Moore. Osgood going on, flicking it nicely there for Hutchinson. Oh, tremendous goalkeeping by Grotia from Hutchinson, and a really tremendous piece of goalkeeping by this young fella, Peter Grotia. Now Osgood. And Hudson trying to shake off Bobby Moore, but now the ball with Weller. Hudson. Hutchinson and Osgood in the middle. It's Osgood going to try and get underneath this one, and does so, and it's there by Weller. By Weller. With 15 minutes of the second half gone, Keith Weller's first goal for his new club, Chelsea.
Well, in fact, it's Keith Weller who starts this move and then finishes it off. Here he is picking up the ball on the right wing, pops it out to Alan Hudson and then goes rushing off through the middle. Howe's with him, and there's a bit of a tussle there, but just watch Peter Osgood's jump, a beautifully timed jump, cushions the ball off delicately there. Keith Weller comes flying in and gets it into the net by the end of his toenail.
To Hudson. Certainly Greaves has had a good lively game. He's been running well for West Ham, making himself available, but here's the trouble at the other end now as Osgood gets up well, and it's there by Weller, number 2. Keith Weller's second goal. And Chelsea's second goal. 2-2.
An almost identical goal to the last one. There's Hudson, slips the ball to Mulligan, moves across there as if to say, well, leave it to me, I know how it's done. There's the cross in the air, and watch Osgood's heading power again as he comes in here and beats Bonds this time, hangs in the air, lays off that ball, and Weller is stealing on the far post there as the ball goes through Bobby Moore's legs, and it's not too difficult a task to score from that position. And you can see how happy that makes the man, a brace of goals.
Houseman took that well, but he's got Bonds with him. And Bonds has given Houseman absolutely nothing this afternoon. Here's Billy Bonds again, setting up another West Ham attack. Jeff First. First time in, aiming towards Clyde Best. And Bonds just over that Chelsea bar.
Bridge for Chelsea against Arsenal. A derby game between London's two unbeaten clubs, two successful sides, both of whom won trophies last season. But Chelsea, for whom Peter Osgood is about to have a controversial game, are able to field a much more settled side. This, in fact, is the one that drew with Everton in midweek. Arsenal are hit by injuries and they're filled with defensive players, none better than our guest today, Bob McNabb. A side missing strikers like Radford, Samuels and George, and defender Peter Simpson as well. But in Frank McClintock, they have an inspiring skipper, and today, for a change, we want to show you what captaincy is all about. Here he is going around all the young players around him, giving them a word of advice and a word of encouragement. He's had one with Ray Kennedy, he's had one with Eddie Kelly. In a moment, he'll do the same with young John Roberts as well. McClintock, who really has got this Arsenal side moving, and it's moments like this that make the difference possibly between winning and losing. He's going to make sure that these players go into the game in the right frame of mind. A 53,000 crowd, biggest of the day, now waiting for the kick-off.
So Chelsea, all in blue, get us away, defending that goal to our left against an Arsenal side bristling with defenders. 4 fullbacks, no less, in this lineup. Rice, McNabb, Story in the number 8 shirt, and Sammy Nelson in the number 9, with Radford out of the side. Here's Weller for Chelsea. Both sides unbeaten this season, London's 2 most successful sides in these opening first few weeks. Bob Wilson, the Arsenal goalkeeper here, number 1. And a push in the back by Dempsey on George Graham. John Dempsey, who came up and scored one of the goals against Everton on Wednesday night. And it's John Roberts with the free kick for Arsenal. Headed away the game by Dempsey, beating Kennedy in the air. Houseman. Certainly Chelsea you would expect to make most of the running this afternoon, with Arsenal so crippled by injury and fielding so many defensive players. The onus really is much more on Chelsea. Here's Weller to Mulligan. Hollins, and a poor pass there from Hollins, easily read by McNabb, and now McNabb, having rather committed himself and supported though by George Graham. McNabb going in hard and failing. Now Hudson. Doing well in a little, very limited space, and going in hard there was Osgood, with that ball bouncing just ahead of Wilson. Made it difficult for him to gather. Nab for Arsenal. Nelson to Graham. And Hollins putting that obligingly into the path there of Sammy Nelson. Hollins desperately trying to make ground, and as well for him that Dempsey was right back as well. George Graham with a shot. Down goes Bonetti. Good work there by Bonetti. Right along the ground, just going inside that post. And Bonetti was down brilliantly from George Graham. Played for Armstrong. Hudson watching him. Nelson again with space enough to cross this ball now. Armstrong looking for it. The ball comes through to McNabb with a shot. Oh, and Bonetti grabbing that at the second goal from Bob McNabb, who crept in almost unnoticed. So Arsenal, for all their defence, have had the two real worthwhile shots of the game so far. The second of them from Bob McNabb, the first one, of course, from George Graham. Weller. And now Hudson. Hutchinson making a run towards the near post. Osgood towards the far post. Here's Hutchinson and Roberts there first. Harris. And Weller. Oh, trying to play a 1-2 there. Now Osgood. Still Osgood. Oh, just past. From Osgood. For a fraction of a second, he must have seen his first goal of the season coming up. Good control in a tight situation on the edge of the penalty area, and a fraction too wide as Wilson really flung himself across his goal. Story. To Hinton. And now Harris. Hollins has gone off on another break and Nelson's gone with him. Hollins! Good work by Hollins! Oh, against the post! Can he do it? He can! John Hollins! Oh, what a beautiful goal! That is what you call an individual goal.
All credit to Ron Harris for the accuracy of this pass down the wing, but it's number 4, John Hollins, who scores it. He's in the centre circle and there he goes on his run, streaking down towards the opponent's penalty area. And just watch how he catches it on his thigh. Remember, he's running at sprint pace with Nelson herring after him. It's at this point that Wilson decides to come out, maybe too hurriedly, and gives him the chance to lob it over his head. But it hits the crossbar and bounces back. With all the enthusiasm in the world, John Hollins scampers after it, turns. 9 out of 10 players, I reckon, would hit it over the bar from that position, but not him. Right in the centre of the goal, off the meat of the boot. A really wonderful individual goal.
Hutchinson labouring a little bit. He's taken 1 or 2 knocks and Houseman offside. Again, you can see the perspiration there on Hutchinson's face as the whistle goes for half-time. At the end of 45 minutes for Chelsea, really battering against a brick wall. And finally they found a way through with this man, John Hollins, with his goal just 5 minutes before half-time. So Arsenal then get the second half going. The initiative, I would have thought, must be with Chelsea at the moment, in spite of some superb leadership by Frank McClintock for Arsenal. There's Nelson trying to find Kennedy, but Mulligan to Hollins for Chelsea. Weller. Arsenal's throw. And there's Kelly again. Pat Rice. Kennedy going in, George Graham laying it off there for Nelson. Nelson going past Mulligan, can he turn this one back for Armstrong? There's Kennedy there, and George Graham, and it wouldn't go through to Graham, and Hollins gets there first. Kennedy, in fact, taking just a little too long to get his position right. McNabb to George Graham. And a goal kick. Kennedy swooping to get to that one. Armstrong to Nelson. No, still in play, says the linesman. So it's George Armstrong. Kennedy looking for this one as well. And number 4, Kelly! Over the line! Oh, a goal by Kelly! Out of the blue!
There was a suspicion of that ball being out of play, but just let's look now and see as it's controlled on the line there by Nelson. The whole of the ball, remember, has got to be over the line, and I think quite clearly you can see that it's remained in play. He slips it inside now to Armstrong, and a floated cross into the middle there, And now you can see how Kelly steals in between the two Chelsea defenders. I think Harris was expecting Graham to head it. And notice the power of this header, because although Bonetti's in a good position, he can't get his arms up to react. There's Bonetti, the ball over his head, and he reacts too late. But you can understand Kelly reacting in that manner.
So 6 minutes of the second half gone, and Arsenal showing tremendous spirit of drawn level. You can't say too much about McClintock and the way that he has kept his men going. Now Hollins. Houseman with Harris going up outside him. So Kelly takes Houseman and Story's gone for Harris. And the ball falls to Rice. Now Story. Kennedy. But Hudson. Osgood. McClintock taking a buffeting there in the chin, and McClintock and Osgood getting stuck into each other, right under the eyes of the referee. And the book is out. The book is out for the name of Peter Osgood to go into it. And it looks as though McClintock also is going in. Well, there's Osgood's name anyhow. And McClintock is furious with Cook, and I wouldn't think the referee would be very happy either. Of course, it's been frustrating for Chelsea. We know that in attack, with so many Arsenal men funneling back whenever there's the slightest hint of danger. But against that, you've again got to repeat that Arsenal, if anything, have made more chances this afternoon than Chelsea have made. Cook really charging in like a bull almost, and McClintock absolutely furious with him. And Cook being sternly spoken to there by referee David Smith. I should think so as well. And in goes Cook's name into that book. And really, he can have no complaints. He's charging about there like an enraged bull on one Arsenal player after the other, and you just can't do that sort of thing. Well, it's been a tough afternoon for Frank McClintock, I must say, with Cook and with Osgood. Thought for a moment that was a bandage. But no, just to keep his socks up. And Pat Rice with the kick. Hudson. Running himself into a fair bit of trouble again. And Chelsea's throw. Well, they've got a little over 5 minutes left now, Chelsea, to make something of this home advantage, and the fact that Arsenal are badly weakened by injuries. Cook. Still 1-1. Osgood. Mulligan in a lot of space down the right. And a good pass there from Osgood to Mulligan. And there it is by Mulligan! Paddy Mulligan!
Well, that goal came directly from this throw-in without Chelsea losing the ball. There's Charlie Cook picking it up now. He finds Peter Osgood, who shows us what a football brain he has. As he cuts across the field, watch the way he curves this ball right into the space on the far side, almost tempting McNabb to go for it, but giving Mulligan a wonderful chance to streak past him, which he does beautifully. There's the left foot shot. Once again, Wilson's left stranded with no one to help him. And as a result of it, what a lovely smile.
Nobody for the deep cross at all. 2, 4, 6, 7 Arsenal men are back, and if Cook crosses it, Osgood now gone into a position. That's why he had to delay. Now Houseman. Hollins with Harris outside him. Here's Harris. Now can he beat Rice? He's got it across, but not far enough for Osgood. But Cook to Osgood again, a little slow there off the mark, Peter Osgood, and McNabb back to Wilson. Harris. Oh, and a bad tackle there by Story on Hollins. A free kick to Chelsea. That was a bad tackle by Peter Story. It's been a tough afternoon though for people. There's no question about that. When they've been coming forward, they've been stopped at all costs. And here's Cook again for Chelsea. Oh, beautiful skills there at the far post, and Roberts putting it away. Beautiful skills there by the byline from Charlie Cook, who made space for himself where none seemed to exist. Beautiful play by Cook, and if Roberts hadn't been there to nod it away, then Osgood most certainly would have been there to nod it in. Number 9 Osgood, 12 Charlie Cook. Here's the corner coming up now from Peter Houseman. Osgood poised to leap, and Wilson also. George Graham to Peter Story. Armstrong losing it to Hollins, and so it's Harris. Houseman's gone through the middle, perfectly onside. Now what can he do? Arsenal are miles behind him. He's turned it in, and too far for Weller. Perhaps kicking himself now that he didn't take on Wilson as well and try to make it number 3. Hudson, and now Cook, and he is offside. That's perhaps what Houseman should have done, but he's offside. Oh, and then he didn't get it in. Last desperate throw by Arsenal. It's got to be now, and in fact that looks to me as though that's the whistle. Sounds like it, and it is the final whistle here at Stamford Bridge. A tough derby game, which John Hollins gave Chelsea the lead. There's the number 4 Eddie Kelly, and the 2 number 4s, Kelly, who made it 1-1, and then Paddy Mulligan, the number 2 for Chelsea, who gave Chelsea that victory. There he is, so close to the end. So the final score then at Stamford Bridge this afternoon is Chelsea 2, Arsenal 1.
Bridge saw the first in a season of refereeing rows when Chelsea took the lead against Ipswich with this Alan Hudson effort. As the slow motion replay clearly shows, the ball did not go in the net, and the referee is a plonker.
Houseman on the far side, and Osgood there as well, turning it now for Hollins to blast it, and there it is, across goal. Hollins keeping that in well. Hutchinson, number 2, Ian Hutchinson from Hollins' cross. They're now leaving it for John Hollins, bearing in fast with a left foot drive. From Hollins, what a shot! Ron Harris to Marvin Hinton. So much space again opening up in front of Hinton. Hutchinson playing a little 1-2 with Hinton. Oh, Marvin Hinton! And again, so much space that allowed Marvin Hinton. Albantis. Oh, and number 5 slipping badly for Hutchinson. A flick over the goalkeeper.
Francis Lee, Ron Harrison with a very quick tackle. This is Limpardo now as Manchester City build up perhaps their first attack of the game. Pardo. This is Alan Oakes. 20 minutes gone, and it's Colin. What a goal! What a goal! What a fantastic shot by Colin Bell. This is Bell. Only 2 men out for City now. Everyone else is back. Osgood. Weller, what a good goal! Keith Weller, the scorer.
Wearing number 5, Marvin Hinton, holding his place on merit from John Dempsey, who's named as the substitute. Number 10, Ian Hutchinson, fresh from his first under-23 international appearance in midweek against Wales. Well, now the Newcastle United side, and Newcastle this season with an exceptional record in London. They've played 2 matches and won them both. 2-0 against West Ham United, and a fortnight ago, a shock 2-1 win at White Hart Lane against Spurs. Led by the Welsh international number 9, Wyn Davies. The substitute, teenager Stuart Barrowclough, who if he's brought on, will be playing his first match for the club. Frank Clark for Newcastle. And Newcastle really have had problems scoring goals this season, or finding a consistent goal scorer. Their league goals have been shared among 12 players. And Pop Robson, the number 7, is the leading scorer with 4 goals. John Hollins for Chelsea. Hutchinson. Tarantoff to Ford. Number 8, Dyson. It's Ford. Hinton for Chelsea. Arentoft. Ben Arentoft. That's nicely bent, and Hutchinson just offside. He's offside. And what a good goal that might have been. Ironic hand clap there from Hutchinson. He was only just offside, but I saw the flag go up the moment he made his move, and the linesman was right in line with play. Davies, he does get up so well. Robson through the back of the defence. Good tackle by Harris. It's Cook now for Chelsea. Weller. Moncur for Newcastle. Ford to Davies. It's Frank Clark. Arentoft. It's Webb in the way. So determined. Clark for Newcastle. Osgood now to Weller. Osgood got knocked down. Weller battling his way on. And play being brought back. The referee didn't play the advantage, and the crowd do not like it. That was Arentoft now. Hollins for Chelsea. Boyle is wide. He's not offside. Total miskick. Hollins again, and Chelsea on the attack once more. And he hit the bar! Brilliant effort by Hollins with the goalkeeper off the line and beat. Now Robson. This is Hinton for Chelsea. Harris. Cook. Houseman. McNamee. It's Gibb. Harris. Hutchinson. Osgood. Beautiful ball. Weller. And that's why he cost £100,000 to score goals like that. That's Arentoft now back to Clark. And Newcastle have conceded the goal that in the first 15 or 20 minutes Chelsea looked like scoring. It's Weller and Robson clashing. And Weller winning. He's really on fire now. Good flick by Davis to Dyson. Oh, brilliant goalkeeping. Peter Bonetti in just the right spot. Skip. Houseman. Good play. Harris. Moncur. McFall to Moncur. And he's being kept under pressure. Clark. Or rather Craig. Bad ball. Hollins. Again the linesman. Seeing an awful lot of that yellow flag. Davis, brilliant. Davis getting these flicks in the air. That's Robson. Pop Robson, number 7, but Davis is the man causing the trouble. Houseman. Harris. Hutchinson. Moncur. Houseman. Osgood. Hollins breaking down the middle. This is Cook. Goal kick. And that's it. A half-time whistle. And Chelsea leading Newcastle United by 1-0, and that's really just about the difference between these two teams. The goal scored by Keith Weller after 36 minutes. Chelsea's most fervent supporters in the shed, ready to welcome their team as they attack that end of the ground in the second half. Mr. Corbett signalling to the linesman and all ready to go. That's Cook now, back to number 2, John Boyle. Miss-hit it, now Clark. Hollins. Hutchinson this time with the throw. Houseman. And Clark had to concede the corner. And Hutchinson's quick throw and Houseman's quick thinking created that situation. It's Weller. Weller again. And offside. Osgood was offside. It's Hollins. Powering his way forward. Weller. Goal kick. And listen to the protest and the linesman who advised the referee. Again, it was the linesman's flag that pointed. Rather looked to me as if the linesman was right on that occasion. Robson. Persistent, but he's in trouble. Now Hollins. He's got Hutchinson only in front of him. And Weller wide. Hollins. Hutchinson, and a great save. A fine Chelsea move. The move and the save being applauded by players and spectators. Osgood. That's Gibb for Newcastle. Harris for Chelsea. To Houseman. Hutchinson was pushed. Harris, Osgood, and the flag up again, and Osgood penalised. Well, these linesmen are certainly making a name for themselves. Weller. Clark. Arentoff back to Clark. Osgood in the way. And he was determined to get that. And again. And Clark was after him all the time then. He had 3 goes. And clock is being booked. And that booking was inevitable. Osgood showed enormous determination then. Houseman with a kick. Moncur. And Cook to Houseman. Boyle, Arentoft, forward, and he held Boyle. But there's not going to be time to take that kick because the final whistle has gone. We make it a few seconds early to bring to an end this untidy match. Won with a goal by Keith Weller after 36 minutes.
Contrast between these two clubs. Chelsea starting 4th from the top of the First Division and West Ham 4 from the bottom. Yet the overriding feeling is that rarely is there a bad match when these two clubs meet. Close to Christmas, a bad day for crowds, 42,000 and referee Dennis Pugh of Chester to get us going.
And Deere with his head, this time nicely for Lindsay, and what a good ball from Lindsay played first time for Aris. Now can Aris take on Harris? He can and beat him. And Houseman, oh, and Harris getting in very hard there, and he sent Osgood away, and he's onside all right. Osgood, that must be it, Peter Osgood. A really decisive break there. After Harris had gone in hard on Aris, and found Osgood, who really tore the West Ham defence what was left of it apart. A fine goal then by Osgood, and one he badly needed. He'd scored only 2 in the league so far this season, 4 altogether, and now he makes it 5. There's Geoff Hurst on the left, and on the right of that picture, Ian Hutchinson, 2 of the bravest strikers in the game, both out with injury. Bobby Moore then at the near post. They got Lampard at the far post, and they got Ferguson in between them. And by the way Chelsea are winning the ball in the air, they might need them. Cook with a corner. And this time Eustace getting it away. Osgood! Oh, it's there by Osgood, number 2. Just over that West Ham line with 22 minutes gone. And Chelsea was delighted. So although West Ham have looked so vulnerable in the air, that goal came from the ground, as indeed the first one did. Well, now his form really has come back, Osgood, and he'll be well delighted. Now Aris. Greaves playing it off for Brooking. Brooking forward now for Deere. Can Deere turn it in? Good work by Bonetti. My goodness, Deere was given a tremendous amount of room there by that Chelsea defence. Taylor's gone up for West Ham. That's virtually the angle that Bonetti would see. Aris with the corner. Eustace looking for it with his head. Lampard to blast it through, and a goal by Frank Lampard, leaving Bonetti completely unsighted. But one that puts West Ham back in it. Well, that really was a turn-up, because West Ham really hadn't looked very much coming forward compared with Chelsea with all their aggression. But Lampard really belting that one through a crowded penalty area, giving Bonetti no chance. And Hinton to Cook. Hinton again. Turned high towards Baldwin, but Moore winning it, and Weller! Oh, against the post! Well, West Ham really in luck there. Harris getting there a fraction before Aris. Weller for Chelsea. And Osgood against the bar, and what a magnificent move there, and a fine header by Osgood. Lovely little cross though by Weller too. Brooking a slack pass there straight for Weller. Brooking trying to make amends, and Weller's hard to shake off. And still Weller going on, beautiful piece of play, and it's Hollins right in there with a header that's just passed. Again, one of those so deceptive bursts by John Hollins. Best getting up well in the air, Webb to get it away. Hollins there and taking a little too much time. And Brooking, can he get a shot in? A deflection there. And a goal! Yes, no, disallowed. Disallowed. What for, says Brian Deere. And that's something we shall have to look at later in the programme. But it was disallowed. A West Ham fan is on the field. But the referee has disallowed it. Jimmy Greaves looks sick about it. Osgood dummying Taylor. And taking it onto his right foot and dummying him again. That's twice he's done it. And trying once more, but Taylor staying cool, getting in the way of Bobby Moore. Well, I suppose it will come out of the ruck eventually. And it does to Osgood. Is this the hat-trick? It's in the goal. No, it's disallowed. The whistle had gone for a free kick, ironically enough, to Chelsea. Osgood, I suppose, a little upset that the referee didn't allow the game to go on, and so allow him to achieve his hat-trick. But the free kick is for Chelsea. Baldwin on the goal line, Houseman with his corner, Cook to head it on, Webb to look for it with his feet under that crossbar, and it's being pushed in there by Osgood, and Chelsea are ahead with only 3.5 minutes gone. Up under Benetti's crossbar, and he's in trouble, and he's in the net, and it's been given, but it could have been any one of 5 or 6. John Sewell. Birchinall getting there well. Harris slipping, and Scott there in the thick of it as well. Birchinall with a shot, and a goal by Alan Birchinall against his old club. 2-1 to the Palace. And now it's Weller for Chelsea. Charlie Cook. Scott in chase and Payne in chase, and he looks for Baldwin. This must be it, and it is 2-2. Chelsea coming forward, but there are plenty of City defenders back as well. Osgood taking one of them out of the game anyhow. Trying to make his way through. Oh, good work by Osgood. And a fine save at the end of it by Corrigan. Now Bell. Bell sent sprawling there by Harris, and claiming that to the referee that it was after the ball had gone. But referee Ken Burns saying go on, and so that's what Webb is doing. Finding Houseman. Stamford Bridge finding its voice again after that burst from Osgood. Hutchinson to Houseman. Osgood there in the centre, looking for it with his head. And Chelsea in the last 90 seconds or so looking as good as they've looked in the whole of the afternoon. Now with this very damp crowd getting hard behind them. Bell. Just a little disjointed at the moment, Manchester City. Here's Harris. Osgood. Turned inside for Hollins, coming up fast. And Hollins will not be shaken off that ball. Hollins with his shot. Straight into the arms of Corrigan. Hinton winning that one well in the air from Bell. Hutchinson fighting hard, but the ball cannoning off man for Oakes. Well, a misunderstanding there between Neil Young and Jeffries, and so it's Cook to Houseman. shadowed by Doyle. He's going to take some shaking off. Houseman's throw. Osgood. Heslop snapping away at him all the time. All good play by Osgood to find Harris. Back to Osgood again. And now for Houseman with time to cross one. Hutchinson at the far side. Well, he had it in two minds there, whether to nod for goal, whether to nod back to a teammate. And it might be easy to make the decisions up here, but it looked as though it may have been the wrong one that he took. Now a free kick rather to Manchester City. Arthur Mann to take it, and Manchester City under pressure in the last 5 minutes as they've not been for the whole of the afternoon. Mann then with the kick. The rain coming down hard still. Oh, and here's Bell with a chance. Colin Bell, and he scored. Colin Bell. A chance out of nothing after City have been under such tremendous pressure. Colin Bell, who sneaked in there so fast and kept his head and finally planted it wide of Bonetti. And it was Colin Bell who scored in a 1-1 draw here earlier this season in the league. Well, Chelsea's cup history, of course, has been dotted with tremendous recoveries. And now it looks as though they'll need to have another one on their hands. There's Hutchinson going in hard. Well, it's a corner to Chelsea. Well, Malcolm Allison there on the right of your picture with Albert Alexander, the chairman of Manchester City, on his right. On the left of our picture, must be well pleased. Here's the corner. Curling under that crossbar. But the shade, from Chelsea's point of view, the wrong side of it. Bell, this masterful all-rounder. What an example of how to keep your head when the chance comes. And Bell off again. But this time stopped by Webb. But there's Young, the elegant player, lurking on the far side. Hinton to Bell! Oh, Bell has done it again! As Hinton left it, Bell was in there. Marvin Hinton let that ball go across the goal. And in a space of a minute, Manchester City, there's Marvin Hinton shaking his head, a sad and sorry figure. And as he waited, Bell pounced. And Manchester City, in the space of a minute, have put themselves almost, I would think, beyond the reach of Chelsea. Hutchinson. Oakes. As Chelsea comes striding forward, there's a few gaps at the back there, and here's Oakes with a long run, and Young now. Oh, and Webb going in with no nonsense whatsoever on Neil Young, and the referee calling him to him. Look of determination all over David Webb's face, and perhaps a little too determined in that challenge. And certainly Ken Burns was very quickly on the spot, giving a sharp word where it was required, and the free kick to Manchester City. Neil Young with it. Webb to get it away. Oakes now to drive it. Oh, and a good save by Bonetti. Good fierce shot there by Oakes, and beautifully timed by Bonetti with the rain in his face. Finding just the moment to make contact with the ball, to flick it over that bar. So it's City's corner. Neil Young. Under that crossbar again, Bonetti getting his fist to it. Hollins failing to get his head to it, and Weller finally getting a boot to it. Ball boy then giving it to Alan Oakes. Away there at Bowyer. And the referee, in fact, telling David Webb, I saw the way that you were kicking rather furiously at the ball, and it seemed almost at the player as well, but he's taken no action. But he certainly let David Webb know that he was watching him. Here's Young. Jeffries, overhead again. Webb getting it away, not very far. Houseman going in the nick of time as Doyle and Oakes came in fast. Now Hinton. Wide for Weller. Oh, and Weller's gone past man now. He's got Hutchinson up with him and Osgood as well. That's aimed towards Hutchinson and Osgood, but in fact finding only Tony Book. Noticeable too how quick the Chelsea burst was, but how much quicker the Manchester City recovery was. There were about 5 men back in that penalty area in no time at all. Oakes nodded on nicely there for Young. Playing some nice stuff now, Manchester City. Jeffries, Book. Doyle. Book again. A little chip there, and Young to flick it on. Hinton to get in there first. Now it's Houseman to Hollins. Houseman away again. And Hutchinson's made that burst towards the near post that he makes so often. But it was really an impossible situation for Hutchinson. It wasn't to his head which he wanted. Hinton nodding that one away for Hollins. Hutchinson laying it off for Cook. Now Cook, will he take on Heslop? Leaving it for Houseman. Osgood lurking again. Linesman flagging on the far side for offside against Osgood. But the referee say play on. Houseman again, another little chip. And Corrigan looking so massive in that goal. I'm sure he does to the Chelsea forwards as well. Ron Harris to Marvin Hinton. And Heslop once more there, and Doyle claiming that the ball came off Houseman as it went between his legs, and the referee agrees. This fellow's looked a giant in the middle of the field this afternoon for Manchester City as well, Mike Doyle. Bowyer finding Young. And now Oakes. Doyle. And now Neil Young. And man to Oakes. Doyle. This must be about 9-10 passes at least that City have made without Chelsea touching it, and it's Jeffries trying to get himself into shooting position, finding Doyle. This must be up to 13 passes now as Bell, still Bell, and getting a shot in, and my goodness, there's Jeffries cannoning about there, Jeffries again, and Bowyer, and it's given. And it's Bowyer who's made it 3-0. With a quarter of an hour to go. And that really was frenzy at its fiercest in that goal area. As Bell put in the first shot that counted. And then there was all sorts of scrimmaging around there until it finally ran loose for Ian Bowyer to put Manchester City 3-0 into the lead. Now Hollins. Hutchinson looking for Osgood, flicking on now for Houseman to turn it across again. Oh, and Hutchinson couldn't have been more than 6 inches away from pulling one back straight away for Chelsea. Well, the Chelsea fans going home there, some of them, with a quarter of an hour still to go. Nobody happier here this afternoon than the fellas in the front row there, Malcolm Allison, Joe Mercer and Albert Alexander, the Manchester City chairman. Boyle and Chelsea's throw. All this without Francis Lee, would you believe it? There he is, Francis Lee, still obviously playing a very active part in that dugout. Hollins then to take the throw for Chelsea, and Peter Osgood has gone off up the tunnel. Now going up the tunnel now, there he goes, which can only mean that John Dempsey is on. A substitute now on for Chelsea, which won't do anything for Chelsea's striking power for sure, with a defender now on. It's John Dempsey. Hutchinson's gone roaring forward again, but it's Houseman down the left. Played first time towards Hutchinson, and now with Webb right up there. Can Webb force it home? No, he can't, but he wasn't so far away from doing it. Hollins. That's shaken off the ball, Hollins. Quite a tough battle there with Alan Oates, but it seemed to me shoulder to shoulder, but the referee obviously thought otherwise, and he's given the free kick to Chelsea. Hutchinson wanting it quite clearly high in the air, and maybe Boyle will give it to him. Dempsey right up there as well, and in fact just pushed past that post once more by Ian Hutchinson. Still these odd chances coming Chelsea's way, and I suppose even a goal would give it an air of respectability. And there goes the final whistle. Chelsea, the holders, are out of the cup. And for my money, if they can keep this form up through the succeeding rounds, it's going to take a very good side to beat Manchester City as we go through towards Wembley this season. Colin Bell, scorer of 2 of those Manchester City goals in the second half. And Ian Bowyer, of course, who got the other one, but it was Bell who put that first shot in, and Bowyer, the number 10, who finally finished it off to make it 3-0 then to Manchester City.
Weller running right into trouble and taken out by... And he's onside. Conroy's onside. Surely a goal. Yes. Terry Conroy. Terry Conroy, the scorer, the Stoke fan, rising to him. Chelsea caught absolutely square there. Smith in trouble. Derry Smith. It's there. Hutchinson got it.
There's John Hollins. Harris to his right again. Hollins ready to take it back. Harris has gone for the return. Harris, all did well.
And it's a goal. It's gone straight in the net from Harris. Banks looked as though he got a touch to it, but it's gone straight in the net. They're giving the praise to Smothers, so maybe he got a touch.
Greenhoff back for Bell.
And Chelsea also saved all their goals for the second half. The Spurs attack here, which ends pretty weakly. But after a couple of minutes into the second half, Chelsea took the lead. A corner was forced on the right. And watch out after some indecisive play by the Spurs defence for number 7, Keith Weller. A tremendous shot rocketing past Jennings. Weller has scored for Chelsea against his former club, Spurs. Chelsea 1-0. 20 minutes later, Spurs got the equaliser. This time, the goal came from a cross by Cyril Knowles and was eventually put in by Martin Peters, number 10. Another very good goal, a typical Spurs goal, 1-1 and everything to play for. And in fact, the winning goal came from Spurs, scored by number 9, Martin Chivers, just 3 minutes later. And so this London derby ended Spurs 2, Chelsea 1.
At least they've managed to come through unscathed. Their team for this derby game is unchanged. Frank McClintock and George Armstrong both passed fitness tests during the morning. But the real hero to emerge at Highbury in the last week is, of course, Peter Storey, whose goals kept Arsenal alive in the Cup, backed up in every sense by the bold front running of Ray Kennedy. What a brilliant first full season he's having. As for Chelsea, their team is also unchanged. It's the one that's disposed of Bruges and Leeds United in the past 10 days. And yet it's curious to see the name of Peter Bonetti missing. Illness has kept him out.
Hudson really was knocked to the ground there by Storey. Hollins with the throw, and the linesman's flag's gone up. Osgood, he's flicked it. Has it gone over? But no, the whistle had gone in any case on that goal line, and the linesman had his flag up a long time before the whistle went as well. So there were two offences there, but Chelsea desperately close to going ahead. Again to the Arsenal with Armstrong, floating it once more. Kennedy looking for it, but Webb in fact getting ahead to it first. And Webb, having cleared it to Baldwin, was streaking up the field himself. Kennedy turning it on, Webb now trying to get back as Radford turns it in, and just wide there by George Graham. McNabb to Kennedy, and now to Armstrong. Kennedy to George Graham. Little one towards the near post. Storey going in! Oh, against the post! What a beautiful cross, though, by Graham. And Storey, of all people, popping up in that 6-yard area. There he is, to nod it against the far post. And now doing destroying work at the back for the Arsenal. But still Chelsea with Houseman. And Wilson getting that one at the near post. Charlie Cook with the corner though. Dempsey and Osgood. Dempsey getting ahead to it, and Baldwin to flick it in, but in fact the whistle had gone. Because Dempsey was levering himself up onto the shoulders of an Arsenal defender. Tremendous crowd, and obviously any vantage point at Highbury this afternoon is a very good one indeed. Hudson and McClintock. Charlie George again bursting in on the scene there, and McCready going with him, but he still found Radford, and now George Graham. Armstrong coming in on it. Beautifully played there by Armstrong. Oh, and a dummy there, Les Kennedy in! Oh, a fine goal by Kennedy! Armstrong played his part, George played his part, and so too did Ray Kennedy. And Rice with the free kick towards the far post there. Radford with his head just over. Climbing well at that far side, John Radford. Hollins now to drive the free kick. Dempsey looking to get underneath it, but it's Hudson. Told to float it back again. This time Simpson was up there, and Cook. And Dooney just over. Arsenal's throw. George Graham, faced by Hollins. George Graham again in very quickly. My goodness, there wasn't much to spare with that one. And Chelsea claiming that Graham helped it along with his arm. Hudson again. McCready's gone down the left for him. Chelsea coming forward now in a fair bit of strength, but being pushed back once more. And now George to fasten on this one to show his speed. Radford, George, and now Kennedy claims for offside but not given, and a second goal by Ray Kennedy. George absolutely delighted, and as that one came across, Chelsea were standing still, and Kennedy controlled it beautifully to hammer that ball low past Phillips to put Arsenal 2-0 ahead. Well, Bertie Mee, the Arsenal manager on the left there, very satisfied, I would think, with the team's second half performance. Now 2 minutes of injury time gone. And there goes the final whistle, and Arsenal have won only one of the last 11 games at Highbury between these two clubs, have now laid that bogey with a victory with 2 goals here by the number 10 Ray Kennedy that keeps them still very much in the running for the championship. 2 goals to Kennedy and a victory for the Arsenal. The final score then at Highbury is Arsenal 2, Chelsea.
Bridge and Chelsea against Coventry. A damp and a windy day and a match between two sides with contrasting outlooks. Chelsea still heavily committed, of course, in European competition. Coventry with nothing left except the opportunity now to play good and relaxed football. And because of injuries, it's an odd-looking Chelsea side, although Peter Bonetti is back in goal. However, their problems are up front because of injury, and now there's a first chance for 21-year-old Peter Feely, former amateur with Enfield. As for Coventry City, they look strong in defence and midfield, but a little shy in attack, and a lot will once more depend on the prompting of their youngster Willie Carr, still only 20, and more impressive with every season. The Chelsea crowd, beautifully decked out, now waits for referee Keith Styles of Barnsley.
So Chelsea then defending the goal to our right, all in blue, get us away. Coventry today in their second strip of green and black stripes with black shorts. And Feely getting a touch of the ball, rather a hefty pass back there to Dempsey that made him scamper back to Peter Bonetti back in this Chelsea side, who has a testimonial, in fact, on Wednesday week here against Standard Liège. Nobody can doubt that if anybody deserves a testimonial, it must be Peter Bonetti after his years of wonderful service here at Stamford Bridge. Here's John Hollins. throw then to Chelsea. Ron Harris with it, the Chelsea skipper. Chelsea, who have a good record against Coventry since Coventry were promoted. Good play there by Feely. That'll do him a lot of good. A nice little ball there to Smethurst. And now to Hollins. Weller and Boyle combining on the right. John Boyle, good looking cross. And my goodness, Feely was very nearly in there with a chance for a header. Smethurst here as well. But Feely, in fact, got in very close there with a header. Now it's Hunt. And he must have handled that ball as the ball seemed to hang there a little while. It'll be Dempsey then to take it. Chelsea's throw given. Well, no, it looks as though it's a free kick given. And Harris taking it fairly quickly, and a short one to Houseman. Parker getting it away, but only as far as Hudson. Playing it wide to Webb, who'd stayed up, but Catlin was jumping well. Weller getting in! Oh, and another fine save by Glazier. But what an excellent shot by Weller. Cross towards the far side by Smith. Bonetti there, losing it, and it goes in off Rafferty, but it's disallowed. The challenge on Bonetti was unfair. Coventry fans in the crowd don't like it, but there can't be many doubts about that. On the programme also that's coming up. But certainly, in all conscience, it's been a very undistinguished first half, and let's hope that they can do something for us in the second half. A free kick then to Coventry. Because I suppose one should always remember that people have paid to see it in any case. There's Rafferty waiting for it, Clements also waiting for it, and there's the free kick. Willie Carr getting ahead to it against John Hollins, which was good going. Feely and Blockley, and once more Parker there, very assured indeed, that young centre-back. And back to Glazier. Harris. Weller. Oh, he did well there, Weller, and he was taken from the back again by Catlin. And Boyle is absolutely furious there with Catlin. The referee having a word with him as well. John Boyle really had to be restrained. Although, in all honesty, John Boyle has done one or two of those himself on David Clements. So he may not be the best man to protest. But he certainly was giving Catlin a few of his thoughts. There's John Boyle. And a free kick. Feely rising very well there, but it goes straight to Willie Carr. Harris to David Webb. Hudson. Weller. Harris again. Nodded away by Machin to Mortimer. Now to Carr. Carr putting it straight into the body. Oh, and Carr taking down, Boyle taking down Carr, and while the referee was not looking, Rafferty goes on, with Carr and Boyle having a little affair of their own, which the referee in fact noticed, so he had to have eyes in two places at once, watching Rafferty go on and watching Boyle and Carr getting involved. So it's going to be Chelsea's corner, and quite honestly, it is only from these set positions where they bring a few men forward that they have any real threat for Coventry in their own area. Here's Smethurst, let's see if they can make something of it. And there's Webb going in, and there's Feely just past! Boyle. Parker beating Feely, but here's Houseman for Chelsea, played for Hudson, and now to McCready. Chelsea having a few men forward now. Houseman to Boyle. Boyle with a chance to cross it. And Smethurst! Oh, a lovely goal by Derek Smethurst! Very fine one too. From that cross, Smethurst reading it beautifully and giving Glazier no chance at all. So with something like 13 minutes to go, Chelsea at last have broken through that Coventry barrier. Phil Glazier might be under a little bit of pressure now. And Houseman with the corner. And Webb going in, and it's there, number 2. Well, that was credited by the way they are going to it to young Peter Feely. But I don't think he could have known too much about it, but Chelsea are now 2 into the lead. So Chelsea have scored 2 in 2 minutes. And Blockley still arguing with the referee. There's Bill Glazier. 2 Coventry players still coming into that Chelsea half, arguing with that referee, now going back, as you can see. But referee there, Keith Styles, had no doubt that that was a good goal, and it puts Chelsea 2 into the lead. Now Hunt. Going past McCready, he's got Rafferty in the middle for him, but he's got to get past Dempsey. He'll have another go. That's a better looking one as Bonetti catches that one beautifully. Houseman, way on, says the referee. Houseman going on, and going on, down he goes, and a free kick. Matter of what, 2 yards outside that Coventry penalty area, left of centre, given away by Jeff Blockley. The Coventry wall there, anything but 10 yards back. Hunt and Machin in there, and Smith and Mortimer, and Houseman joining them. Hudson is going to take it, or is Weller? Both loitering behind that ball. The wall is waiting and anxious. And they're claiming that Willie Carr is anything but 10 yards off the ball, and I sympathise with Chelsea, although the referee is saying get on with this game. No, maybe he's not. He's saying don't take this kick until I've gone back 10 yards. Now there's the 10 yards. Let's just see how far back that Coventry wall will go. Will he get them back all the way, or won't he? They are reluctant to go, and they've got to go, and if they don't go, he ought to start taking some names. That is showing dissent, and they've got to go back. They have got to go back, but they're not, and I suppose the referee felt that was a compromise. Weller now, and there's Smethurst straight into the arms of Glazier. And the referee, in fact, saying there was an infringement on the far side in any case. But a really exciting bit of action for all that. Machin. But Hudson. To Harris. Blockley again, winning it in the air. Weller trying to pick it up again. Bundled off the ball by Mortimer, and it's Catlin. Boyle going in on Mortimer. Goodness, that was a rather cruel challenge again from the back. Boyle again. McCready. Boyle. Straight to Machin. Hunt to Mortimer. Someone's got to go for him. Mortimer going on, and Dempsey finally just prodding that back to Bonetti, but the whistle had gone for a foul against Chelsea on the edge of that area. We've had over half a minute of injury time at the end of the game, so Coventry haven't too much time. And certainly with the time that it will take to get this free kick going, because no extra time, of course, is allowed for free kicks. There's even if they got a goal from this one, they wouldn't have time to get a second one. Catlin in the Chelsea wall, Clements and Carr. Playing it, in fact, for Ernie Hunt to drive one! Oh, a fine goal by Ernie Hunt! That was well beyond the dive of Peter Bonetti. Coventry, who really do find something special with their free kicks, found something special with that one. Touched off nicely for Ernie Hunt to hammer it past Bonetti. So Coventry pull it back to 2-1, and we've now played just about 2 minutes of injury time. Boyle, a long one forward, and the whistle has gone, the end of the game. Coventry having pulled that one back almost at the end. Here's Smethurst, who got Chelsea on the way with the first goal, and young Feely, who got the second one in his first game for Chelsea. And then, of course, right at the end, Ernie Hunt hammering in that free kick to make the final score here. We had a nice late flurry. The final score here at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 2, Coventry City 1.
Hudson, and a good save by Healy, and he's not got to it, but it's gone past from Webb. Webb running a corner, but Mr. Schultz says a goal kick. With a good tackle and getting it through to Summerby. Bowyer has gone through the middle. Young is moving over there too. Johnson is on Summerby's left and Lee on his right. Beautiful work by Lee. And a great shot! Francis Lee showing some of the form that he showed at Wembley last week. Johnson slow to go into challenge, so Cook is able to set up another Chelsea attack. Boyle. Cook has gone outside him on his left. And here's Smithers coming in, and there's the first one for Chelsea. Really all too easy, nobody challenged. No, it's not been given, it's been disallowed, presumably for offside. Stifled a few cheers in the Chelsea throats. There's the crossfield ball from Cook. And there's the header, and there's Smithers, clearly offside. Puts the ball wide of Healy. Weller to take the free kick. Dempsey on a run towards him, and it misses out, and it's gone in off the goalkeeper. Healy caught with one eye on what was happening in front of him, and that one really does count. There's the man that did it, Keith Weller, his 15th goal of the season for Chelsea. And here he is, taking the free kick that put Chelsea in front. Apparently no danger, and the goalkeeper catching it, losing it. Manchester City keeping two defenders back, everybody else in the penalty area as Summerby takes the corner. Lee. Can he thread it through? Heslop. Bowyer. Well, it looked a little more promising than some of the attacks that Manchester City have offered, but in truth it wasn't very incisive. It's virtually a two-man attack, Bowyer in the middle. Young playing it on for Connor, and puts it over. Donachie. Lee looking for a chance to shoot, trying to set it up on his right foot, but the gap never really opened. Cross from Towers for Bowyer, and he's got a head to it, but he's put it wide. Ian Bowyer, who's had very few opportunities in this game. Onside, Hudson with the ball and Houseman in the middle. for Houseman's head and finding it, but Houseman too much under it. Still in play though, put back by Smethurst, and not clearly away by Heslop. Weller! Fine save by Healy, the save of the night. That really made up for his earlier lapse. It was on the way. He'll feel a lot better after that. Young. Webb coming forward, trying to play for a bounce off a player's legs that he didn't get. The final whistle as Boyle goes down, having been fouled just in front of the box, which is a sad ending to a very happy night for Chelsea, and nobody, I'm sure, will grudge them their victory. They have commanded in every place where it has mattered. Their defence has been good enough when needed. In midfield, they have won every vital ball, and up front, they did enough. They scored a one goal from a free kick by Keith Weller that was helped over the line by Healy, a young man who came into the game only in the hour before the kickoff. So a sad night for Manchester City, failure for them in their endeavours to win their 5th major trophy in 5 seasons. But a good night for Chelsea, who now go on to the final in Athens, where they will meet Real Madrid or PSV Eindhoven on May the 19th.
Tremendous excitement now with Chelsea on the attack. This is Osgood. Left foot shot. What a goal! Peter Osgood opens the scoring. 1-0 for Chelsea after 55 minutes of play, and no wonder those Chelsea players are happy. Only seconds remaining. It's Zocco! Zocco's equalised. There's an appeal for offside. But what a killer. Only seconds remaining. The score now 1-1.
In the replay of the European Cup Winners' Cup final. The news of their team is that Cook has come in at number 4, or moved back to number 4. Baldwin is number 8, Hudson number 10. Otherwise, the same side we saw just be pipped on the post on Wednesday. Osgood. And Jose Luis getting it away. Quickly, the Chelsea team. Benetti number 1, Boyle number 2, Harris, the captain, number 3, taking the throw-in. Houseman. Cook is number 4, Dempsey 5, Webb 6. And Houseman being penalised. Weller is number 7, Baldwin 8, Osgood 9, Hudson 10, Houseman 11. And as soon as possible, I give you the Real side. But the big news is that Piri, we all thought had broken his arm, is playing. Now, Amancio. Osgood back to Baldwin. Osgood. And again, an infringement by Chelsea. Free kick to Real Madrid. Ron Harris, number 3 for Chelsea. Slater. Houseman back to Harris. Now Houseman, number 11. Say Luis. Benito. Grosso. In rather slow. Beat by Cook to Weller. Jose Luis. Montenegri to Velasquez. Slater beat by Harris. I think Chelsea looking the faster side, much sniffier than Real. Jose Luis appears to have lost his boot. And he's gone down holding his left knee, and the left boot that came off, number 10, Velasquez. Foul by Cook. Rep. Dempsey moves right up into the penalty area. Chelsea trying to keep the pressure on Real all the time. Baldwin. Dempsey. To Hudson. Osgood to Dempsey. And there's Osgood. In comes Weller. Certainly Real having to pack their defence now. Cook almost with a rugby up and under. And yet another corner for Chelsea. And the Chelsea fans really on their feet now. And the Greek fans getting up with them because they feel that Chelsea of Real going backwards. Flatus for Real. The man to watch, Amancio. And he's seen it pushed in the back end. And he's looking terribly aggrieved that he's not got a penalty. Now Hudson is the first dangerous break we've seen from Real Madrid in 21 minutes. It almost produced a goal. Cook to Hudson. Hudson. And Hudson's gone down, rolling in agony. Tendencies these days for the game not to be stopped. Slater. And Weller is going to be penalised for putting a foot up. Dangerous play. And that's Alan Hudson who got the knock. And the referee's attention is being called to him. Houseman, number 11. Cook's going over to help him. And the referee waving play on, although Osgood is looking as if Baldwin was pushed in. Two of them going up with him, and now here's Webb on the break from Weller. And the corner kick. Well taken by the goalkeeper, Borja. There's Tommy Baldwin there to put him under pressure. Certainly Real Madrid not enjoying themselves in this Cup Winners' Cup final replay. Cook to take the corner. And Dempsey has scored! Well, Johnny Holland almost hit the roof when that one went in. Feeling a lot better, I should think, now, are you, Johnny?
I can imagine John Dempsey's very pleased with that. Very pleased indeed. He had similar one in the cup final at Wembley, and I believe Sprake made a great save, so he'll be certainly pleased with that one.
10 men. Piri is up front. Hardly seen him in the match at all. Soko and almost reaching Piri. First time we've really had to catch our breath a bit. It looked as if Soko might have found Piri with that header. Chelsea players have obviously been told to pace themselves. Temperature's not high this evening. It's pleasantly warm, but no sense in running out of steam in a match of such importance. And number 4, Piri. Monteneghi, Grosso. Velasquez will do well to keep that in, and he has done. But not to much avail. Harris using this back pass very, very sensibly. Baldwin. Back to Harris. Number 8, Baldwin. Osgood. And he scored! Osgood has done it! That was a beautiful shot. I thought he'd have gone wide, but he picked his spot, and Osgood down, kneeling down and just waving at the crowd. And so after 38 minutes, Osgood has made it 2. So, Johnny, you're 2 up now, so you think Chelsea can afford to relax a wee bit?
I don't think they can. I think we ought to go at them as we have done and not give up at all. That was a great goal there, Peter. Tommy Bullen made a great run there. I think the defence stopped thinking that Tommy Bullen was going to get the return. He did it similar Wednesday night and just put it in the corner of the net. Great goal.
Right. Cook. And Cook stripped from behind, and that was rather silly of Cook to do that. That caused a wee bit of trouble now. So this is up to Mr. Bukele to sort it out. The usual spark sets off everything in these matches between British and continental teams. Cook stripped from behind, turned round, retaliated, and private wars breaking out all over the place with 1 or 2 peacemakers trying to calm them down, and the Chelsea fans still looking happy with that 2-goal lead. Almost half-time. Houseman with the corner for Chelsea. And Hudson beating Velasquez almost cheeky ease. Here comes Cook, number 4. Velasquez for Real, and the whistle goes for half-time. A very fine first half by Chelsea, who went off on Wednesday not having played well. They were then 0-0 with Real Madrid, but it's a different story now. 2 up, and Johnny, this must be one of Chelsea's best performances of the season. And off Real goes for the second half of the European Cup Winners' Cup final. Chelsea leading by 2-0. Guido. Again, a good, strong tackling by the Chelsea team. They've given nothing away at all. Later. And back comes Weller. It's so pleasing about Chelsea tonight that Real do threaten any sort of pressure. Front runners come back and do their stinty defense. And has the whistle gone? No, it hasn't. And Osgood gives away a corner. I think he thought that the whistle had gone for a free kick for Chelsea. To Hudson. the left. And Webb just deflecting it away from Slater, so he gets into the bad position. Grosso to Grande. That was a similar situation to the one Peter Osgood had after 38 minutes. The difference being that Osgood put it in the back of the net, Grande put it wide. Nevertheless, so far, Vanetti is in no serious trouble at all. Grande, a big fellow, now keeping close to Osgood. Jose Luis. Oh, look at the speed of the man. And again, it's Webb there, Grosso. And the Chelsea defenders looking at the linesman, appealing for an offside decision, which never came. But at last, Real are beginning to wake it up a bit. Now, Velasquez. That's too high for Piri. The man they're looking for with his crosses. Piri and Soko, the number 6. Now, Jose Luis. Not getting any force behind him. Vanetti. Boyle. Cook. Baldwin. Osgood. And flicked away from him by Benito. Webb hanging back so that someone could knock the ball back to him when they were in trouble. Osgood. And Cook looking around, seeing Harris had more space than anyone, bringing him into the game. And that was a dreadful tackle right into the back of Baldwin by the little fellow Benito. Well, they've got a quarter of an hour to go and 2 substitutes to use, but now Freitas for Real Madrid. He's done it, he scored! Real Madrid has scored. Freitas has got one in with 15 minutes to go. And now, this really could be something of a last 15 minutes. And it's Osgood coming off. Brothers on instead of Osgood. Now, will Real be able to drag themselves up again? And another substitute for Real Madrid. Of all people to go on is the great Pinto, 39 years of age. He's gone on instead of Velasquez. And so we're facing now a dramatic last 15 minutes. Real Madrid, who snatched victory away from Chelsea in the last minute of Wednesday night, have now scored 15 minutes from the end, so it's 2-1. And Redhurst for Chelsea. Chelsea once again facing tremendous test of their courage. They get a corner. Grande. Piri. There is a danger man with these crosses, but perhaps not timing not quite so good when with that bad arm of his. Sargento. Amancio. And Vanetti quick to get right across that goal. So 7 minutes left, 7 or 8 minutes left. Chelsea 2-1 in the lead. Room then. Rocco and Boyle there for Chelsea. Good bit of running by Hudson. He's got Smethurst on his right. Referee waves his hand, points to the corner flag. It's a corner for Chelsea. 4 minutes left for play. Chelsea in the lead, 2-1. 4 minutes by our watch. Their clock says 5. Well, the only one that matters is the referees. Husband taking his time with the corner. Dempsey has gone up for this corner, but Webb has been left back. Silly for Chelsea to take any risks at all. Real's job to take the risks in this situation. Oh, and Hender's running himself into trouble, Smithers. A full mark to the goalkeeper. Borja, who didn't panic at that moment. Brandy moving down the right. This is Brandy. City and Grosso in the middle. Foco as well. And Bonetti rises to the occasion. The first time he's really been under pressure. That was a fine header by Soko. Now Sellers. Through one for Baldwin. Good goalkeeping by Borja to come 6 yards out of his goal to give Baldwin nothing to shoot at. Slater. Amancio. Bonetti. Amancio. And it's Webb who's stripped away a corner. Almost a replica of Wednesday night when Webb popped up from nowhere to save Chelsea. And the Real trainers' bench calling everybody up into attack for this grandstand finish. Hento to take the corner. And we were so near extra time then. Free kick, the foul on Bonetti. That gives Chelsea precious moments. But my goodness, Real will never be nearer to scoring without having the ball in the net. 2 minutes left to play. Remarkable escape for Chelsea, but they still lead 2-1. Now, have they got the skill to play this keep ball and push the ball around? Now Clayton. And he slipped at that crucial moment trying to hit it through to Amancio. Without a doubt, this a great performance by Chelsea. Hudson. And it's still in play. And it's over! The whistle has gone. Chelsea have won the European Cup Winners' Cup for the first time in the club's history, and Chelsea fans race onto the pitch. Chelsea have done what Tottenham Hotspur, West Ham United and Manchester City have done. And as the players swap their shirts, a great victory by Chelsea. They paced this game well. Tactically, they played it magnificently. And a worthy reward for those worthy fans who've been able to stay over in Athens. And a word, too, for about the 3,000 who had to go back yesterday. Great signs of jubilation from all the Chelsea fans. We await now the signal foot. Ron Harris to walk up and get the cup. Sandor Bac, the president of the Hungarian Football Association in those great days, now hands the European Cup Winners' Cup, which Manchester City held. It's now moved from Manchester to Chelsea.